Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So just talking a little bit about the craziness of work and what I walked into yesterday, and just but thankfully before all of that I went on a little walk with my kids through the woods behind our house and the fields, and it was just really relaxing and very grounding before going into the craziness of work. So enjoy a little snippet of our walk, and then I'll vent about work. And if you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear how your job is going wherever you work. So alright, thanks for visiting, you guys. I'm so glad I got extra sleep last night. Normally Daniel drives me, my husband, but I'm driving myself like a big girl. Anyways, I'm also so glad I took a walk yesterday. So I took a walk yesterday before work with the kids, just to spend extra time with them and exercise, and I was a little physically more tired than I normally am at work yesterday, but mentally, a walk through the woods was so perfect before entering the wilds of the hospital, and I walked into a mess. So normally we try and have 4 patients on our cardiac telemetry floor. We can go up to 5, and lately it just feels like we've always been up to 5. So when I started, I had 3 patients with 1 coming, so basically 4. And literally as I was finished getting a report on my 3 patients before I could get meds together or look at charts or anything, my 4th patient came, and the PCT started the basic admission, and I went in and introduced myself and got them settled and said I'd be back in a little bit, because at shift change the previous nurse had said that one of my patients didn't have any IVs. So they all went bad, and she said it was like right before shift change and she couldn't get an IV in, and they didn't have an IV. So of course, getting IV access was like front and center of making sure that was done. And I was kind of aggravated, but honestly that happened to me too, so I wasn't too aggravated. I had a patient whose IV went bad right before shift change, and I tried 3 times to get an IV in and I couldn't get it. It was a little like 93-year-old woman, little roly-poly veins. I tried, and then I got another nurse in, and she tried 3 times and she couldn't get it. And then by that time it was like 15 minutes before shift change. We had to message the ERN to see if they could get someone to help us with an IV, and I felt really bad leaving that for day shift that day, and they were not happy. And it wasn't even someone from my floor. It was a float nurse, and I'm pretty sure she thought I was the most incompetent nurse ever. But I mean, what can you do? We're here 12-13 hours, and so yeah, it happens. But yeah, so that was my first priority, was getting that IV in, that lady. And then as I was gathering the stuff to get the IV in on that patient, another one of my patients, heart rhythm. So this patient has a history of going into VTAC, but this patient went into sustained VTAC for like 8 minutes. So I called the doctor, and then I had to do a stat IV amiodarone drip, try and get that under control, and pharmacy was taking forever to get me the amiodarone and put the order in. And then, so the amiodarone, you need filter tubing, special filter tubing, and I went in to gather filter tubing, and that was out, so I had to call and get filter tubing. So that was going on. So anyways, I got the drip going, and thankfully the doctor, by the time I was up there, the doctor was up there and he was able to look at and assess the patient. Then I went into my other room and got the IV in my other patient, and then I still hadn't passed meds at this point. And so then I checked on my other patient, and I still had some time technically before meds were due, so I started my new patient admission, and this patient started having a seizure. And so then that was happening, so I called like the staff assist button. So everyone came in, which was great, and we already had like suction tubing in the room, seizure, all the standard seizure precautions like padded bed rails, suction tubing, oxygen. So yeah, so then the emergency response nurse came up by us, and we had to get stat orders for him. And it was just a crazy night, and so that took a while. Then I passed my meds, and then I had so much charting to do. It was just a wild night, and it was a good night, but it's hard to stay like grounded when everything happens at once. And it wasn't till 11 o'clock. So I started my shift at 7, and it wasn't till 11 that I actually got to sit down and start charting and doing all that good stuff. But yeah, and then yeah, it was a crazy night. So I got home, and it was a very quick morning. I went to bed, and then I woke up at noon. Got home at like 9. Then I went to bed at noon, or I went to bed at 9, got up at noon. I wanted to go back to bed, so I slept in a hammock outside, and it was amazing. And then the kids helped me make quesadillas, and I had coffee outside with Daniel, and we ate and got to spend a little time with the kids, and now I'm here. So I didn't wear my scrubs in because it was raining and all nasty out. I didn't want to get all my stuff dirty. But time for another night of work. It's gonna be a good night, and it's one of the other nurses' birthdays tonight at midnight, so it'll be good. Anyways, I will see you all later. Bye. Have a good day, everyone. See you later. Bye.